Good evening and welcome to another edition of Dead Ends. And tonight we're going to be talking about what makes a good live, what makes a bad live. And we just thought, hey, come on in, guys. Let's all have a really good debate about it. So we have got Rachel Downs in the chat room this evening. Hi, Rachel. Hope you're okay, my lovely. And as everybody starts to pop in, what we'll do is we'll introduce to you Steve first. So Steve can tell you all a little bit about himself, and then we'll go back to CJ, and then we'll begin, all right? So how are you doing this evening, Steve Scottish?
I'm all right. How are you?
Really well, thank you. Sorry.
We're starting him off. Come on, let's get it together, guys.
I'm doing well. Hope you guys are well.
Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself, chick.
Steve, my name's Stephen Daley. I run a page. I'm based in Ayrshire in Scotland. I run a page, Ayrshire Paranormal and Urbex, and I'm on tonight to speak about live feeds.
Nice, brilliant. So,
sorry,
CJ, how are you?
I've got to say a quick hello to Rachel. No, I will call you Rachel. I just haven't got to become a ghost for me to contact her. It's one of my team members down at the Inn Lover. Yeah, we're having a catch up soon.
Right then, CJ. So, how are you this evening?
Quite jolly, to be quite honest. I'm quite sober. And I would like to just say that if anybody's come on to see if I'm going to react to a drunken idiot on a YouTube channel, you're going to be sadly mistaken tonight, because obviously I'm not happy about certain remarks that were made on that channel, especially the homophobic and the threats, and none of what he stated. And basically, I don't want to jeopardize any action that he's got coming to him. And trust me when I say got coming to him, because at the end of the day, I understand that he has done another live tonight, and he's gone and done it again, gone out and got drunk, and decided to slag both of us off and dead ends. It's uncalled for. It's not professional. And as far as I'm concerned, call me what you want, mate. You wouldn't do it to my face, that's for sure. But I'm not going to say anything more on it, because, as I said, I don't really want to delve into things that have happened in the last 3 or 4 days. And I don't want to jeopardize any future action that's going to take. And it's going to take time, but trust me, it's going to happen. So that's about what I'm going to say about that at the moment, because I'm interested in delving into Steve's question.
Pretty much. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So thanks for that, CJ. Obviously, like CJ said, that's his little statement there. Mine is, I don't like you, you're a narcissist, and now we're moving on. So, hi, Stephen. So what we're going to do this evening, I'm straight to the point. So what we're going to be doing this evening is talking about what makes a good live and what makes a bad live. So for you personally, you do lives when you're out on investigation. Yep. So tell us a little bit about how you run your lives.
My lives don't really have much of a structure. I just want people to have fun and interact. But let me kind of check my list here.
Absolutely.
You will have a list.
If MD sees me looking at a bit of paper, I was nervous and I decided to take some notes.
You crack.
No, really. Nah, my kind of main ethos for a live feed is I want people to have fun, and it's more a case of being inclusive for everybody. Because I mean, you've got a lot of people that, through no fault of their own, possibly can't make an event. Could be ill, there could be some sort of physical reason they can't go. They could be scared. So my whole ethos of going live is it brings basically the ghost hunting or investigating side to them and gets them involved. And that's basically what I would go for.
Yeah, well, that's pretty decent. I think when I used to obviously run lives previous, I mean, we don't do so much of that now because we pay a lot of money to go into a venue. So for our little team, we just like to enjoy the venue rather than go live. But yeah, I always, whenever we were doing a live, I always used to do it so it kind of was interesting to the people that might want to watch. But then I kind of thought at the end of the day, like, I can't guarantee paranormal activity every step of the way. So it became more of a, let's do a walk round to show people the venue so that people, if they wanted to hire it, could see whether or not it was, you know, big enough for what they needed or worthy of hiring. And then we'd end the investigation right there and then close the live off and then just get back to what we like to do.
I just want to just say, I've got my eye on you now. I'll put up a post.
Who?
Donna Perry. Okay, like that, is it?
Stop spamming Steve.
Where's my blow up button? Boom.
If it's not my hair, it's Steve's face.
Yeah. Well, Steve, you'll have to tell me how to grow a beard like that, mate. I'm afraid to say.
No.
So Beverly Turney says, I hate it when live feeds break down constantly. You just can't watch them, and it's bad if you've been charged for it. Yeah, what do you think about charging for lives, Steve?
Boils my piss. I'm going to steal your turn. See these ones that go on and go, please like my video, share, send me your stars. It's like, no, just don't do it. It's, to me, you see a lot online about, oh yes, I was the first person to go live with feeds, I was this. No, you weren't. Most Haunted did it 15 years ago, 20 years ago. They started the whole kind of live system off with getting a viewer interaction, in my point of view. Whether I like them or whether I agree with them or not, the Most Haunted crew did start it all. And Facebook Live just kind of added to that. I don't think you should be charging for live feeds. Sorry, but no.
Well, to be quite honest, I mean, talking about lives, I've never really been one for doing lives. Never, even when I was down at the inn, doing it down at the inn. Corinne used to go with live, but it's not really entertaining, really, to be quite honest, to do it. But there is a lot that do depend on doing lives. But it was somebody that commented earlier on a post that I put up. They're in, I think, Australia. So, you know, it's like when we were talking about what we'll be talking about at the end of the show, they were saying, oh, I do hope you do a full live, because they're in Australia and they want to see it. So there is good calls to do lives.
Yep.
You can be educational on them. You can, it also, the goodness that comes from them, I suppose, really, is people could see locations before and choose them whether they want to go to a location, because people are going around, and it can help venues out as well. You know, so people know what to expect when they go into a venue. So there is a good call for lives. But I agree with you, Steve. I mean, these stars, send me more stars, and you know, we'll do more, or we'll flash you our boobs, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? just to get the 1 pence, I believe, or 2 pence. It is little
about 1p. Yeah, it's about 1p.
I mean, at the end of the day, the only stars I want to see is through a ruddy telescope that I've got over there, looking up at the night sky. That's the only stars that I want to see, to be quite honest.
I noticed there's a girl commented, Lindsay Thompson. Lindsay's my best friend. So what I quite like about the live feeds as well, sorry Lindsay if I'm getting too personal here. Lindsay and our 3 kids have got an illness called VHL, and our oldest kid, Jack, a year ago went blind. So they've come out ghost investigating a few times with me, and I mean, Jack loves it. Obviously, I've got to find somewhere that's safe for him to go to take him. So the live feeds I do can kind of bring it to him as well. That's half the reason I do the live feeds. So Jack and Lindsay and Keris could log in and like watch me doing it and help me. So that's a big reason I do lives. That's a personal reason for me I would do it. So I mean, I only do, if I go to places to investigate, I maybe only do like maybe a half-hour live feed, just to get people to enjoy it, and then I kind of spend the rest of the time mucking about myself, because I don't work with a team. I work alone, so it's kind of it's just nice. It's a bit of fun, a bit of, I mean, I tell you, I'm getting back about 5 or 6 years ago. I remember doing a live feed, and it was a castle, and there was a woman who'd got in touch with me after it, and she'd basically said like she was in like chemotherapy treatment for cancer. I remember this message did mean a lot to me, because she thanked me for bringing it, like involving her basically and getting her to help me kind of like with a live feed and talking about stuff and which she could pick up. And that's, I mean, you've got to take, this woman was obviously very, very, the treatment was taking its toll on her, and for her to get in touch with me and get involved, it did mean a lot. It meant a lot to me to get some good feedback that way. So
well, it seems like
that's what kind of brought me. It kind of brought me to the whole kind of. I'm not really a fan of live feeds, because I'm not much of a fan, but I like kind of going live on the page and kind of bringing it to people and getting them involved.
But it gives that information over, doesn't it? It's like where you are. I watched your live feed when you were talking to the Spirit Box. I don't know where you were. I couldn't remember where you were. But it was interesting.
Was that Wednesday night?
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pub in Auchinleck called the Boswell Arms.
Let's not mention pubs and drinks, shall we? Sorry, personal joke. Sorry, Steve.
But lives that they have, I mean, they do have their pros and cons. Like I said, most of the pros to me that I've got here is it's people are maybe scared, anxiety, no transport, or like an illness, the reason why they can't go places. So for me to go live, I can bring it to them and give them a wee bit of excitement, a wee bit of enjoyment. So that's what I take, because I always ask for feedback. When I do my feed before I finish, I always say, like, give me feedback, even if they think it's shit, tell me what they like, what they don't like, then I can work on it. I can try and bring people, what people want to see, I can bring it to them. That's my kind of view.
Mandy's just put up a good point, actually, and she said lives and pros and cons. It can distract the investigation, but it can also bring investigations to those who can't leave their house, etc. And this goes back to the one podcast we were doing about, people with disabilities and stuff like that. Some people can't leave their home, so that's another good angle for it, for doing lives. It's just sometimes I just think that some groups will take it too far and use it to their advantage, and I just think really, people just they don't want to be hassled with stars. They don't want to be hassled with looking at people's faces every 2 seconds and flashing around. They want to see what's going on and what's in front, So that's my thoughts on it anyway.
And I think this star thing, I think, it's great, obviously, for some businesses, because that's how they make their money in order to pay for venues and stuff like that. So, that's by and by. But I think sometimes with these stars thing, it can make people feel like they have to donate in order to be the group's friend. I see a lot of that happening. You know what I mean? And Facebook have changed it as well. Whereas when you look at a lot of lives now that take stars, it actually says donate 200 stars to have your comment pinned here. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
I've not actually seen that, to be quite honest. I mean, that's a new one on me again. But
I've seen that a few times.
I don't do lives. So the only live we do is on Dead Ends, really, unless I'm forced, which normally Corinne Bazant normally does force me if she's got her camera up in the air and she wants to do a live. I normally try to skip past it because I hate it. I don't know why I'm comfortable doing lives on Dead Ends, but I am. But if it's outside, I'm not comfortable with it. But if it's a show location that's generally, interesting, got a little bit of, I dare say the word, history behind it as well, and you can put that across, I think that's a huge benefit. I think that is a huge benefit.
Yeah.
But each to their own, and people use lives for their own, they do it totally and utterly different, don't they? That's the thing. Each to their own.
So what do you think the cons are then, Steve, for lives? So what's a bad live?
Usually a bad live, in my point of view, would be one of the ones that descends into chaos with the stupid comments. You always end up with troll comments or something silly. I mean, like one I had I don't even know what her deal was, but she was an American girl, and look at your accent, it's like, fuck off, I'm busy, I'm trying to do a live feed here, and it's like 4 or 5 messages, it's like, turn around and smile, it's like, I'm like, fuck off, no.
Yeah.
Then you get a camera thrust in your face, it's like, say hello, and it's like,
no.
No.
Stop trying to make money out of me.
I just feel as if sometimes, because I'm like solo, I investigate solo majority of the time, or with a very small group, we struggle to keep track of the comments. So people you can get frustrated because it's like, I've already told you this, and it's like, oh no, it's like, I don't see your comment. I'm like, you're too busy going looking around my thoughts or looking for something, or the spirit box setting that up, and you miss a comment, and people get quite frustrated with it as well, I notice. So.
Yeah,
but also, I think you'll find that as well. It is awkward to keep track of people's comments because people do talk, and I've seen lives even with professionals, and people are there desperately trying to say something, and it bypasses, but it can't be helped at times because you're concentrating on other things. You don't mean not to do it. I mean, I've seen colleagues and friends of mine that have come up after in our chat box. And to be quite honest, I've not said hello to them. It's because I'm concentrating on something else, and the comment goes past, and it goes really, really quick. I mean, I see it sometimes. I don't think he'll mind me using that. Richard Felix, when he goes live. I mean, it's also knowing how to do a live correctly as well.
Yeah.
I think that does help. But with Richard, he has loads of people go on there, and it's entertaining, and it's also very informative. But I know Richard, even with people that know him well, he misses the comments because you can't multitask, to be quite honest like that. There's so many things going on.
Absolutely. So Trisha Walters has said, lives are all good, providing you be yourself and you're honest. There is room for entertainment too, because that is what some people like, and stating entertainment gives you more respect. It's when you make things up that it becomes boring and unwatchable. But you could say all live streams are entertainment, really, because you are focusing on the live stream more than investigating on times. Yeah, I suppose. I think one thing that boils my piss, with some of these bigger groups and teams is the way they make you wait for 5 fucking minutes until they start talking. They're just like, let's just let a few more people on. Let's have a fag. Let's drink some more. And you're like, hurry up. I haven't got all day. Like, what are you going to talk? Or it's so annoying.
Yeah, let's get sloshed.
I'm going to extend on Trisha's comment a wee bit there. See, one of the ones that boils my piss. There's a guy, and he's going to know exactly who I'm on about, but he's based in Glasgow. So he'll put up a wee live feed, and it's like, oh, this is where the poltergeist attacked me. And it's like, you know what? See, when I'm tuning into this fucking live, this bastard thing better attack you because I'm really just want to see this. It's like the false advertise. It's like, go come and see this big, huge fuck off monster here. Oh, it's this scene in the woods. And it's like, you're like, fucking hell, no, it's not. It's frustrating. It's like you're tuning in expecting something fun. It's like, no, it's not. It's boring.
Yeah, but don't you find as well? Sorry, don't you find as well that some of these teams, they're having activity every bloody time they go out?
Yeah.
Hello?
Well, there's a very good reason for that. It's because they're using a bloody mobile phone, and if they've got equipment there, it's going to interact with that equipment. That's why you have to be clever on what you choose to use if you're doing a live. sorry, just getting a bit technical there, because that's a bugbear of mine, is when somebody's walking around, they got a K2 in their hand there, their phone here, and they're going, the spirit's contacting me. It ain't you, daft sod. It's the mobile phone interfering with the K2. You know,
yeah,
it's choosing the equipment that you use, really, to be quite honest, to use it.
I mean, if you noticed on my live on Wednesday night, I mean, I was on probably 15 minutes and got absolutely nothing. So I was open and honest with it. I just said, look, it's like fishing, you're not guaranteed.
Yeah.
Mandy and Mary Ellen was up the stairs and they were getting quite a lot. While I was down the stairs, I was getting nothing, so they were all activity up the stairs. So when I went up the stairs, there was a bit more happening, which was but I didn't even bother going back on live because the girls were in live, so I was on their page.
Yeah.
But you can't. This is the problem with charging. See, like people that charge their subs to get the live feeds, it's like you can't do that because you're not guaranteed. People are spending a £5 a month to see you and are expecting activity, and you can't guarantee it. That's a big thing for me.
Cheryl Clifford's made a good point as far. Clickbait boils my piss, and yeah, they do clickbait on lives. You know, come and join us.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, you know, come and join us where the devil rose. Probably the devil hasn't been anywhere bloody near it. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about. Come and see the big monster that's going to bite me. And it's like, stop.
Monster 8 is going to make an appearance here, you know? And you're like, yeah, wow. It's just crazy. But, I mean, what is the real worst thing that really is bad about doing lives? And I mean, obviously, you know, I've got a personal invest in what I said right at the beginning. I don't really want to go too more, but actually being very unprofessional and going on a live and calling people all sorts of names for a start off, using it as a weapon instead of just having a pair of balls and come up and speak to that individual. That really boils my piss. Obviously, I can't go into too much detail because, you know, it was pretty bad what was said about the last couple of days, and in particular about dead ends. But doing that is not professional. I'm sorry. I mean, going out, getting absolutely hammered, coming back and using a channel like that as a weapon, do they know the effects that could have on the other person? You know, and, you know, at the end of the day, I think we all got to remember that, you know, the internet is a weapon and it can be used, as we have seen. But unfortunately, there are laws out there now which are governing actions, and to every action, there's always a reaction. And in the one particular case, there's going to be a huge reaction. But, you know, that's the type of negative, I think, it comes from being able to do live. If you're going to do that, don't do it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
So, Steve, here's a question for you. What are your thoughts on these teams saying that by doing lives all through lockdown, they have helped people with their mental health?
I suppose in a way they have helped. From my point of view, I've only been out like twice, I think, in the past year, like actual live feeding. But I've been, it's people that sit in the house. I mean, everybody's had a really tough year. So see the guys that are a wee live feed down there. I do think it's maybe helped people's mental health because it's got them interacting and like socialising and like. Yeah. I quite like see when I watch, if I do a live feed, I quite like reading back and seeing the people interacting with each other. So you've got that kind of social aspect there. So that you get people that are interacting with each other and talking to each other. Like, I saw this. What did you see? Did you see this? And I mean, that's quite a good thing as well because I'm not the most. I can be quite socially awkward at times, probably. So it's. I mean, to me, I would say it has helped.
Yeah, absolutely.
CJ? Yeah, my conscience has just come on. Yes, I hear what you're saying, Corinne. Corinne's just come up and just put up a post, just reminded me not to be talking about it because of the future pending action. So it's like having a sat on my bloody shoulder and there's a little devil comes up in your ear constantly. You should be doing this, you should be doing that. It's like, oh.
So what are your thoughts on that then, CJ?
Well, to be quite honest with you, it goes back to what I said earlier on, because I do think with the positive side of it, doing lives, some people aren't able to get out. And some people do like watching, paranormal programs. They want to get involved in it. Again, it goes back to what we did on the previous podcast, where we were, excuse me, sorry, must have been that drink I had earlier on. Sorry. I've totally I've gone brain dead.
Lockdown.
I've had a brain part. No. Oh, yeah, we were talking about, mental health. So, technically, sorry, as I said, it's gone to my head, look. Basically, I think it does help them. And I think it's good to do that. And it's good for them to be able to socially interact with other people, because maybe they're stuck indoors. They can't get out. We've all been stuck in for near enough a year. Think about it. And think of the craziness that has actually happened within that year. There are families at each other's throats. There are friends at each other's throats. Everybody's snappy. Everybody's arguing. Everybody's fighting one another. It's because they've been stuck in. Now, think of that of an individual that can't leave the house for various reasons. So where do they get their little bit of entertainment? So, yeah.
You've also got a lot of people within the past 12 months through this, basically the COVID stuff. I've lost a lot of family members. So you are bringing them a wee bit of entertainment, and you're taking them away from maybe somebody's sitting, maybe they've been living with their mum or a parent that's passed away. Maybe they're left in the house alone. They're not getting any social interaction. They're doing a live feed. You are involving them socially as well, which there is a lot of kind of pros and cons, obviously. But I mean, to me, I would say it's mental health. Being somebody, I've struggled with mental health for a while, so it can be a good thing, but in my view, I would take it as a good thing.
It can be a bad thing though as well, can't it? I mean, as we're noticing, a lot of people, as you say, who may have lost someone or COVID has really affected them. If they've dared ask the question, sorry, can I just ask, are you allowed out? Why aren't you wearing face masks? Stuff like that in general. They've then been blocked and banned, which could have had a massive implication on people's mental health, but the opposite way.
Yeah.
Right.
One thing I think we ought to throw out, I think we need to throw out that at the end of the day, if there's anybody in there that maybe want to come on, perhaps Mandy or something, because she's a big support, just to come in here, what our dead enders are saying, what their thoughts on good and pro. Just if you have the link, if you do want to come on, I don't think you would mind, Steve. Yeah.
No,
you'd be happy with that, yeah. It's just remember, be kind, be courteous. Obviously, Kelly's got a finger on the button, so if you do want to come on, we'll put up the link. Come and join us and have a little say about it. This is a flashcast, but it's turning into a podcast, really. Yeah, to be honest with you, but we don't mind.
You stay on, or do you want me to log off and let somebody on? Or?
No, you stay on.
No, you stay on. You're the guest.
Yeah, you stay on.
It's your fault tonight that we're doing this, because it's all for you.
All for you.
So
it's all for us, Steve.
Yeah. I wanted to trying to do something positive to try and kind of get. That was my kind of.
Steve don't need stars. He has me. Ha ha. Look out. Well, Mandy, why don't you come on and just talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, come on.
You do realise it's me and Mandy are like brother and sister. I miss Mandy. I'd like to go. I love Mandy.
Mandy's good as gold, I've got to be honest.
Louise French says, I'm disabled and I can't leave the house without help. I find lives something to look forward to on an evening or a night. Do you know, I've actually, though, seen a lot of people doing paranormal-ish type lives during the day. So they've gone for their little walk, maybe to the local graveyard or sort of maybe to an area of paranormal interest, and they've gone and done a live throughout the day. And that's quite interesting as well, isn't it?
Depends where you go up here. Because there's a lake close to me called Glesnick House, and there was actually a flasher there for a while. And I can remember being on a live feed and then you just saw this naked guy running through the bushes. Seriously, no, I'm not even kidding. It was on like there's like chat groups. It's like Ayrshire Box, and it's like they were reporting that there was a flasher. And when I was doing one of the live feeds, I had to stop it because it was a guy running through the. I went down to take pictures and did a live feed. It's like, oh no, this guy's see this guy that Tarzan running through the fucking trees. It's like.
You see, I know with a sense of humour, I'd be pissing myself laughing. I'm sorry.
Well, we've already established something. I can't contain myself without laughing. So it's
Geraldine Clamp says, I dislike the idea of sending stars. I have seen a couple of comments from people apologising for not being able to afford to send them.
Yeah, I've seen one of them as well, one of them comments where somebody said, I'm sorry I can't afford this week. And I was like, what? What am I hearing you? Why you apologise for not sending stars? But
Mandy's here. Let's bring Mandy on. So 3, 2, 1. Hey, Mandy.
Yeah, she is.
Hi.
Hi, Mandy.
Right, what's your thoughts on life?
My Wi-Fi's having a wobbler, sorry.
Sorry, Margie's interrupting. Sorry.
That's all right. How are you this evening, Mandy?
I'm good. My Wi-Fi's having a wobbler, I think. I think it's because Steve's there as well.
You heard the hamster?
It's having a tremble, is it? I'm not bringing him on again because he's distracting people. He's a troublemaker. He's going in the little pocket.
Like, innocent face.
Bless. So Faye Louise Brooks says, holding the camera on the host's face constantly, moving the camera around too quickly, constantly asking for stars, saying all things on this page are copyright, but share, never giving any history to a place, even at the end of a live. So that's all the negative things that Faye dislikes.
Quite agree with you there, Faye. Yeah, quite agree with you there. So, Mandy, what's your thoughts on it?
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Yeah, you haven't gone anywhere, love. So what's your thoughts on lives, pros and cons? Might have to do the language. What is your thoughts on lives?
Oh, like it's catching up with itself.
It's you, it is. It's your fault, Steve.
It is. It's Steve's fault.
Hashtag blame Stephen.
Hashtag blame
Stephen. He made us do it.
Get it, gentlemen.
They have pros and cons. Obviously, they can be very, very, very distracting.
In what way? Oh, she's gone.
She's gone.
She'll come back.
Is there anybody that would like to come on that's got a really decent internet connection? That'd be helpful.
Oh, she's back. Lindsay Thompson says, I've always got feedback, good or bad. I think it helps the investigator, and because I like winding my bestie up. Sorry, Stephen.
I'm going to wind Lindsay up. See if there's any red hot nails out there in Facebook land. Lindsay's single. She told me earlier on she was a single Pringle, so she's obviously looking for a date, so feel free.
Hashtag
How's that
Lindsay
for winding
date.
up, Lindsay? How's that for winding you up, Lindsay? Hi, Mandy.
My Wi-Fi's awful tonight, honestly. My thoughts on lives, there's pros and cons to lives. The cons are obviously they're very, very distracting to what's going on in the investigation because you keep checking the comments and you keep looking at the camera. So we tend to just put our live on a tripod and leave it to it. Just we tell the people we're not going to be watching it constantly. Comment away, notice the time of what's going on, and then we can review it when we watch the live over. And then the cons is obviously people who, can't get out of the house, who are housebound, but they really thoroughly enjoy investigations. It's good for them to watch and get involved, and they love it. But we've never charged or asked for stars in our lives ever. It's one thing we would never do.
Mm.
It's why we try to set an example where we've got this Steve Yard posted everywhere, because it's a point of not making money out of it. It's what we try to do is to put it over. It is what it is. What we get, if it's free, give it to us. If we got to pay for it, go away. Not unless we're raising money for a charity or anything like that. That's a bit different.
We've already paid for the venue, so we don't need the money for the venue. So we just throw it on a tripod or leave it on the cameras, because the cameras aren't always manned, because we have the CCTV cameras and that up. So some people like to just watch the cameras and see what's going on in all the different rooms.
Yeah, I pay it's for infinity, so it's forever, well, till I die. So I paid a one-off payment to HAPRC, and when they're all back up and running, that's like a sort of set amount of hours where you could just watch their cameras for completely free when there's no one else around. So that, I don't mind that. That's really good. I like that, because I can log on whenever I like. I'm not bound to a certain time. So I quite like that. I think that
sounds really good, because you can see what's going on when there is nobody in the building, can't you?
Yeah, I quite like that, What about you,
that's what
CJ?
I quite like about Mandy's team. I'm going to plug Mandy's team a wee bit here. See, like Mandy's one of the very few teams I've actually investigated with that she's not interested in the money side of the financial gain. She's the same as me. She's got the view that it's a hobby and it's fun and she enjoys it, and that's why me and Mandy got on as well, because we both get the same kind of outlook and the kind of investigating, kind of ghost hunting and event side. So I think that's why we got on as well, Andy.
Yeah, we do. We've had some really good investigations as well, haven't we? In
Some
England
funny
and
ones.
in Scotland. Yeah, we've had some funny times. Always remember though, Steve, God loves you, man.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
I'm looking at the bloody comments. Well, with dead enders do as well.
Well, there's a running joke. It was Edinburgh, wasn't it, Mandy?
Yeah, it was in Edinburgh.
See, one of these guys, I'm probably going to go to hell for this one, but see the kind of Garanga people you get. This guy got to me and goes, "So yeah, man, God loves you, man." I'm like, "No, he doesn't." I was arguing with the guy, wasn't it? Yes, he does. He said, "No, he doesn't." Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. And Mandy's dragging me away. Come on, go. You can just walk away. I was adamant that no, he doesn't. So I'm probably going to hell for that one, but it was funny.
I mean, talking about Scotland, I've got to be quite honest. One of the best investigation weekends I've ever had was up in Edinburgh, going around Edinburgh when we all went up there to investigate like grave fires. Bobby's,
Edinburgh's amazing, though.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant. Absolutely.
We did grave fires, didn't we, Steve? We had a laugh in there, didn't we?
Did you manage to get down that one section that they always keep closed off? The section where they say that apparently there's a poltergeist or there's some evil down there that scratches you, because every time we wanted to get down there, it was locked. You couldn't get it.
Is that Mackenzie's poltergeist?
Mackenzie,
I wanted to send Corinne down there on a rock, but it was locked, so I couldn't send her down there.
We went over to Mackenzie's, if you remember.
You can lift the gate off the hinges if you want to go in. But it's... there is a way in.
Well, yeah, because I have seen people in there. And at the end of the day, I thought, well, how the hell did you get in there? And we couldn't get through the bloody gates. They wouldn't open them.
If you get in touch with City of the Dead Tours, they've got exclusive access to it.
Right.
At one point, I was friendly with one of the tour guides, so he could let you in kind of on the side type. I think it was they're decent. They're a decent tour group. City of the Dead and Mercat that's the only tour group I would recommend in Edinburgh. So, but I mean, I could also. I've got a wee bit of experience about taking people around about Edinburgh, and I know the history, so I could take somebody around for nothing. You know what I mean?
Steve is an excellent tour guide.
Tour guide Barbie. I know. I mean, Kelly's coming up to Scotland, I think. So, CJ, you're welcome as well, and I can show you Edinburgh.
Do you know what? To be quite honest with you, I've been talking about it with Corinne that I went up the last time, because it holds a special place for us. Because we took a friend up there who's sadly no longer with us, and I've always said I'd love to go back. Just because I enjoyed it that much. It was absolutely brilliant, and the people up there were as equally welcoming and brilliant as well. Never had an issue with anybody up there. It was great. But I think this time, because we drove up, this time I think I might like to fly, because you get up there quicker and you get back quicker, to be quite honest. But yeah, I would advise it. But we're definitely talking about it, Steve. We will make contact with you.
Yeah.
Take you and have a meet.
You've got like places I would really recommend for going to see would be, if anybody's seen the Da Vinci Code, you've got Roslin Chapel, Roslin Castle.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Gilmerton Cove, that's one of my favourite places. Unfortunately, they don't allow ghost investigations because there was a team went in and ruined it by pouring coffee into the plastic hard hats. So a school went in the next day.
Is that where you took us, was it, Steve, to that Gilmerton Cove?
I managed to get you a private tour there, didn't I?
Amazing, so, absolutely amazing.
And then obviously you've got your Edinburgh Vaults is great, right? I mean, the thing I like about Edinburgh is, see if you sit in the Royal Mile, see if you sit outside St Giles Cathedral, see when you sit and watch and just the people watch and just observe, there is so many different cultures, religions, races, and it's like nobody bothers with each other. There's no badness, no malice. It's just everybody walking past and doing it. It's amazing to see. It's just it's one of the most, in my point of view, and this is going to sound a bit kind of probably strange coming from me, but it's like a magical place. It's really good. It's just amazing. Just sit and watch, just observe. There's just so many different cultures that mingle with each other. It's just amazing.
Jane Rowley says, one of the worst things doing lives is when someone who is watching is so convinced their knowledge and opinion is so superior to yours, and they then constantly message you telling you what you should be doing and what you're doing wrong in their opinion. Had a right nutter this week stalking me from the Demon Files. Live we done last week. But it's true. People do that, though.
Yeah.
It really is true.
What was that by Pratt Cooper?
Justin Clifford says, I think whatever you say, it's not going to change what's going on. Best to just leave them and Facebook. We'll just keep them on side as they make money. The rants and moans don't help, unfortunately. Trisha Walters has dug a hole in her garden. She's ready to bury someone. Louise French, when they get to a good part in the investigation, they say you have to pay to see the rest.
Sorry, can we go back to Trisha Walters first? She's going to bury somebody because, believe me, I know Trisha, and she's a fiery Welsh dragon, and she won't mind me saying that because she is. She probably is definitely digging an hole in a garden somewhere. Or for
Donna Perrin. She says, I got blocked and banned. At first she hated it, but then it opened her eyes. That's quite interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah. That is interesting. Because there has been...
If you've not been banned from a live feed, have you ever lived?
Sorry?
If you've never been banned from somebody's live stream, you've never lived.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, it's like a badge of honour, isn't it, these days? But there is an awful lot of it going on. Especially if you disagree with somebody or you call somebody out on something, the first thing they do is, you're banned, you're gone, so you can't interact, and then they'll go on and slag you off afterwards, probably.
Well, yeah, this is true.
Hey, while they're talking about us, they're leaving someone else alone, aren't they?
Well, yeah, exactly, Mandy. Yeah, it's exactly right. It's when they're talking about you, some other people. Probably some wrong uns are being left alone. But, as we always say, big shoulders.
Cheryl Clifford says, another thing that boils my piss is when people make a story from an app because it's spitting out words. It needs to be relevant to something that has happened at the location. You can't believe everything from a spirit box or app is spirit talking. What's your thoughts on that, Steve?
I'm not necessarily about the live feed here, but see when you watch like Ghost Adventures and they're using what do you call them again? Bill Chappell's device. The Ovulus, that's it. Basically, the way I totally agree with that. I mean, I could give you 5 words and you could make a story out of it. You can give anybody 5 or 6 words. My wee boy's 9 and you could give him 5 or 6 words and he'll make a story around about it. So I go for like when you look at the ones, remember the one I showed you, CZ, about the castle? It was like, what clan is this affiliated to? And you got Rufus. That's the kind of evidence I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's relevant to the location. No, just random kind of gobbledygook.
What about you, Mandy?
Yeah, that's what I was doing that the other day, asking questions that wouldn't be it has to be an answer to the question of what happened at the location. Not like I don't ask for a name, stuff like that. One of the questions I asked on the live the other day is, how did the owner of this land make his money? So I sort of worded the question completely different. And I did actually get the word slave from the white noise, which is how he made his money. Now, whether it was coincidental or not, I don't know. But I think a lot of apps use the word banks from information that's in your phone, because some of them you allow them to go into your contacts and things, and they pick up. I think they pick up a lot of the things that you've Googled and stuff like that. Phones, maybe, I don't know.
Some of these apps. When I was talking to a couple of techie friends of ours, they've turned around and stated that you can easily, if you know what you're doing, get in and program them to say certain words. You can plant certain words in that it will just repetitively bring out, like dead, the devil, for argument's sake, particular names if you're going to do it. One of them did say to me that you can look for that when you watch a certain TV program. When they're on there, they've always got this, whatever they are, the devil comes out, or hell, or a certain name related to that building or that venue. And he's convinced that what's going on there is they're pre-programming or preloading the actual devices that are spitting it out. Now, I don't know, because I'm not a techie, but it'd be interesting to know if there is any techies out there that could shed some light on that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know that. If you can, yeah, it'd be interesting to know if you could pre-program some of your tech stuff,
especially the ones that is using a vocabulary. I'm not saying you could do it with the SB7s, but some of these, what were they called? Little black boxes put on it, just spouts out a lot of names, random names and stuff like that. I can't think what Olivus is it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Obelisk. Sometimes I was told that's what I think they were making reference to, that those could be. Excuse me, they could be pre-programmed with words.
See, that's where you start to get into your SLS camera you were talking about there.
Yeah.
See, when you see some of the things with that, you look as if it's like, no, that's picking up nothing. But I mean, I've had a few times, I don't know if she's on actually, I'd invited her to this, it's Caitlin Young. One of the first investigations me and her went to together, I was actually using one of the SLS cameras, and she was adamant that somebody was playing with her hair. And I'd said to one of the other people there, I said, look at this, look, you actually saw a wee figure kind of like touching her hair. So that was, I'm still on the fence for what devices. Most of the stuff time I just use the PSB7. That's my way, my choice.
Yeah.
But I do agree with the pre-programming kind of stuff. Because all you've got to do is look at my Facebook. I can see some of the recommendations that come up on Facebook. I'm like, what the actual fuck have I been looking at? It's like, for this to come up.
I think one of the good things that's happening on lives actually that could be really useful now and in the future is I've noticed they're asking people to screenshot now as well. I quite like that. It's quite exciting. I mean, obviously there's always pareidolia, but yeah, I like that. I think that means that you're trying to get your viewers more involved in the investigation itself. Yeah, and like Steve said at the beginning, and one of his commenters actually, that what they like about Steve is that he gets them involved. He gets them to say, what questions do you want me to ask? You know? So I like that.
It's all about that. It's all, if you're going to do a live, you're doing a live for a reason. You're doing it to get people. I just seen Bobby just run past you there.
And turn the lights out.
you're getting people interactive, and that's what it is. I mean, what's the point of going live if you're not going to get people interactive with you?
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
you did one, Steve, at a location. One of the first lives that I actually seen you do. You were at a castle, I think. And I was when you got rather excited because you heard the word of the place that you were at that came out the SB7. But I heard it clear as day as well because I commented on it. Yeah, I heard that. That was like, wow, that's a little hit, a little tick there.
That was the first. I think that was the first time I had been out in over a year. So it was also just exciting. It's still works. I can still do this, and it's like, yay! I'm quite excitable. I get excited in the live feed when I hear something that's like amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, you did get excited on that one. I was laughing.
It's the inner man child. It still gets me every time it happens.
It's like a little kid in a candy shop. Did we hear that? Did you hear that? Yeah, we heard it.
So what's your favourite piece of equipment to use on a live then, Steve?
PSB7.
And what do you like about it? What is it about the PSB7 that you like?
I mean, I've been doing this now for about 7 years, so it's actually became a kind of old school device now because everybody seems to be using mobile phone apps. You don't really see many people using a PSB7 anymore. It's all mobile phone apps that people use, which I don't buy into the mobile phone apps.
Sorry, somebody's just pointed up, but yes, early Olivers did have amendable dictionaries. So that confirms what they were saying about those spitting them out that you could pre-program. Yeah.
Do you know,
people are still using them.
I have to say, right, as much as I enjoy the field using all these different types of gadgets, and I like using all these different types of gadgets, I don't have a favourite particular new gadget that's on the market. I'm quite old-fashioned. I like my EVP, even though I know there's bad points to EVP, but I love my EVPs, and I just love my ears and my eyes and my senses. But I do sometimes think, have we all gone a little bit stir crazy with spending all this money on these gadgets when actually I've just seen a comment in there, and I do apologize, I think it's David Potter. He says, Speak and Spell always works wonders for me. Do you remember all the old Fisher Price toys?
Speak and Spell, yeah.
Do you remember them? And I just think, right, if a spirit's got enough energy to press a piano key or can talk to us in full sentences and tell us a story through a PSB7, why can't they just manipulate a Fisher Price toy?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Valid point.
We've got all seeing all doing bits of gadgets and things. To be quite honest, Eddie's made most of our alarms and sensors and stuff like that. But my favourite stuff to use is I have Scrabble pieces that I just lay out on a table. I've got these alphabet dice. I've got a chessboard. I've got a doll. I've just got bits and pieces, a toy car. Nothing that's flashy, just something that sits there that might be relevant to the person, because an 18th century person's not going to know what a K2 meter is.
No.
But they might know what this little doll is. It's people expect the spirits we're talking to know what the equipment is. They're not going to know it.
No, exactly. Like, I understand. I understand for a live, you want as much viewer participation and as much going on for your viewers as possible. And I really do get that. I suppose I'm quite old-fashioned in the fact that I'm lucky to have been in the paranormal for as long as I have. And I now simply just appreciate an investigation for what it is. I don't mind watching somebody walk around a building and just asking questions. But that's because I guess... maybe the wrong term to use, but I guess I've just matured over the years and I don't see the point in all these flashy things. But when you look at it, that is what some people who aren't necessarily in the paranormal, like all us four are, that's the things they like. That's what they see on telly, isn't it?
Well, I don't use any equipment. And when I started, I had tons of it and I just got rid of it. All I use now is an EVP recorder and basically a black book, where if I'm writing things down that has happened, it's only if I'm on a public event that I'll bring out the toys, the equipment as such, but that's only purely for guests to play with. If you see me on now, I'm quite happy to sit in a room, really, really quiet, and just listen out, because I think the best bit of kit that you have, and we keep forgetting it, is eyes and ears.
Eyes and ears,
But
your senses.
Eyes and ears is great, but I don't think it works on a live.
Right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, but your brain, no, because it's not entertaining enough. But it could be, because you could be looking around like, what's that? What was that sound? What was that? Because there's, you can put it around and look, and then you can't be accused of having any equipment on and the phone interfering with the equipment. So you could do that for a section of it. Surely.
But what a lot of people in the comment box are saying is, when people are on the investigation and they're hearing these sounds, people watching it aren't hearing it.
No. Well, I think, but then again, going back to what I said about Steve, when I was on your first comment, I clearly heard what Steve heard, the location's name. And it came across, I could hear it, and that was on my mobile phone. That's why I messaged him and said, I've heard that. And I sat up. Some of it you will, some of it you won't, unfortunately.
Oh, I don't know. It's all so exciting.
My ghost hunting team, what I'll do is I'll link it in underneath. I'll send a link for anybody wants to like it.
There was a comment here just now, Steve, actually saying, I think it was from a Kate.
Tracy Day. She wanted to know.
No, there was another comment as well from a Kate, somebody or other. I'm sorry, I forget your last name. And she's saying how much she's learned just from tonight, listening to the comments about lives. And that, if we've just achieved that tonight for people, that's brilliant. That's a great result. And that is what Dead Ends is about. Is basically getting out and so people can learn a little bit from it,
Yeah.
Sorry, Steve, I interrupted you. Carry on.
See, when you were talking about like equipment and devices, probably the best I've seen anyway was she's probably going to kill me for outing this again, but Carol Ann Horsburgh is somebody that I've met through ghost hunting and we became very close. And I remember one of the investigations I did, I tied her to a chair and blindfolded her and left her in the dark for an hour.
Yeah.
Basically robbing her senses just to see if it heightens other ones, and she was saying she was experiencing some crazy shit. So that, you've got to take. A lot of these wee devices and toys that we use and stuff like that. It's good fun for people to get involved and see what you say, like the guests and stuff to play with when they come.
Yeah.
But you still can't. The way I was trained by an older guy he's been investigating for the 60s. So a lot of his stuff is a lot of old school methods. So I tried to bring his old school methods in, kind of what the newer stuff, and kind of try and mix it all together.
Yeah.
So
sometimes the old stuff is good. It's better than the new stuff, I find. And it's like, for me, it's gone in reverse. Because that's what the direction I'm going. I mean, I remember at one time some guy came at me saying on an investigation, he said, "Got any flour?" I went, "Flour? What do you want to do? Bake a cake?" We're on an investigation. No, you wanted to put it on a tray in a doorway.
Yeah.
So, I looked at him because there was a novice light, and she said, "What are you doing?" He said, "But if anything comes past you, it should imprint in the flour." And it's like, and it suddenly the light bulb went on. Well, frick me, he's right. The next thing I had 2 bags of self-raising flour, and I chucked it everywhere and got thrown out the next day from the venue because there was flour everywhere. And I've got to be quite honest, I haven't done that since.
I haven't done flour, but we've left trays of sand around to see if anything happens in the trays of sand. I've left a chalkboard out with a piece of chalk just on it. Just simple little things, but a lot of the guests love the techie stuff, and I say, go for it. You want to use the SLS, go for it.
They want the flashies. They want.
I love old school. I'm an old school girl.
So to round it up, then, Stephen, what, in your opinion, then, what are the better ways to do a live, and what should we avoid doing on a live, do you think? Personal opinion.
My personal opinion would be to involve as many people as you can. Get them to ask questions, get them to kind of like talk to them, communicate with your listeners or your viewers. Just involve them. I do it for fun. I'm not no interest in making any money. I just do it for fun, and it's a hobby, and it's something I enjoy, and the social side of it. That's what I like. The live feeds you can get people involved in. Like Lindsay said, she likes watching live feeds when I do them. And you can always have a joke, and you can have a laugh and carry on with people. That's the comments and stuff. And but, I mean, I just think the negative side. It's just that's all this star grabbing and the kind of false advertising. Come watch my live and see this big 7-foot monster eat me, and it's like, no, that's not going to happen. You're just doing that to clickbait. But
clickbait. I hate clickbait.
Yeah, and let's not forget using it as an abusive weapon against.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So, I guess when we look at that comment then that Kath put up around it's been very educational for her, that kind of leads me then into paranormal conventions quickly. So we threw a post out, as you guys know, just to see what people's thoughts are on whether we need more paranormal conventions to help educate us, to help pique our interest, just generally to see what other people are doing and how other people work. So just a quick shout out then to the ones that popped their conventions up. So what we have got is the Festival of the Unexplained in Tewkesbury. So if you want to find out more about the Festival of the Unexplained, then pop on over to their Facebook page. Obviously, we've got Sage Paracon. There are going to be a lot more out there. I know in England, we even have some sort of horror conventions, which still kind of leads down the paranormal path. You never know what you can get from a horror convention that could lead you down a paranormal path. So yeah, I would always say if you can get your butt to a paranormal convention, absolutely do, because you'll have a brilliant day, regardless of what you hear about things or what you think. You will have a really good day because you get out of it what you put in.
I've never actually been to a Paracon yet.
No, not me. Not me.
No.
Yeah, not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody's cup of tea. But I tell you what, it's for me personally, when I choose a convention, I choose a convention because of the speakers. So I want to listen to some good speakers. And when I say good speakers, like I've listened to Greg and Dana Newkirk about their travelling haunted museum. And I just found that absolutely interesting. I'd never meet them in a month of Sundays anywhere else because I can't afford to go to America. So for me, it was a great opportunity. So I literally think I just went for that one group of people. But I had a fantastic time. You know, I still got things out of it.
I would have loved to have done the Coombe Abbey one. Was it not last year, the year before? Where they did a Paracon at Coombe Abbey.
Yeah,
I grew up around Coombe Abbey, so Coombe Abbey is like a massive part of my childhood and my life. I would have loved to have gone to that one.
The Wi-Fi is rubbish there.
So many tales.
Just to throw it out
so
there
many tales about that place.
Trish used to do Paracon as well in Wales.
Yeah, not doing them anymore.
No, unfortunately.
No.
I never got to do one of those.
Pop up on my phone.
Clickbait.
Paranormal conventions isn't always something that's happened in Scotland, so I can't say I've experienced very much of them. So
I don't think they're very popular in Ireland. I don't think they've got. I've seen a post somewhere.
Don't have any in Ireland.
I don't think they have any in Ireland.
No, it could be more fairy stuff because they're quite big into their fairies and
yeah, they are.
And that there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worth looking, guys. So have a good look. If you're the sort of person that's ready to, to educate yourselves a bit more, find out a bit more about other people and do it with a bunch of friends. Go with a bunch of friends because no one ever wants to attend these things by themselves. Absolutely. Our hands up. I'm going to Sage Paracon in 2022 because the last two this year and last year were cancelled. So if you're not going with anyone, I'll be there. I'll drink with you.
I'm going to. I'll go. Well, I don't drink, but I'll try and see if I can get onto that one.
The only thing that I find about some of these Paracons are the costs of them, because obviously they've got to recuperate, and it's not. Unfortunately, it's not for everybody, because even if they want to go, it's just some people just can't afford what they're asking. So I do like these online paracons where people come on and you can interact and ask the question, because I noticed during lockdown got very popular.
It really did. Online conventions. Yeah, absolutely. Great place to educate yourself again. So any convention, whether it's visiting one or online, I mean, everybody should give at least one a go. So at least you can say you've done it. Okay, so we're going to end talking about that there. Before we leave, though, CJ has just got to mention something that we put up today.
Yeah, we have. What we're thinking of doing, because of let's be quite honest, this last year has been so shitty for a lot of people. Yeah. Everybody's been tucked in. There's been a lot of aggro. There's been a lot of falling outs. People
been total pish pants.
Yes, it really has. So because I'm lucky enough to be able to run a venue, I was planning to do, well, first of all, it's just to throw out to see if there's any interest there from our dead enders. I'm planning, after speaking with Kelly, to do a Christmas investigation with accommodation and breakfast down at the Jamaica Inn. We've had quite a substantial amount of people that have come in and contacted and said, yeah, we want to come in. The problem I've got is I've only got 18 spaces, and it has to be investigators. It can't just be public, because you'll be investigating on your own reconnaissance. Plus me and Kelly will be...
Me and he. Where is he?
Yes, I put your name
Me and he want to be there.
Yeah, but it's ideal for couples. It's like, you're not coming because you're a troublemaker, you are. Right? So
make sure he sleeps at the other end of the hotel.
Yeah, no, he's going to be with me. I quite fancy that. But basically,
him then.
It's going to try and see how it goes. We're going to be doing a live down from there as well, a Dead End live. It's going to be around about £70 per person. It's based on 2 people sharing. You will get a full access all area of the inn, and believe me, the Jamaica Inn's like a TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside.
It's definitely.
Everyone can verify that. You will get access all areas. So there are 2 areas that we don't normally open up that will be opened up for you. Me and Kerry would be quite happy to take people around.
If you want.
If you want, it's up to you, but we'll be there. You will meet the rest of my particular team, the Jamaica Inn Paranormal team, and there will be somebody there that will be on hand to tell you all about the history of the inn right from the start. She's in yours somewhere, Miss Bazant.
But only if you want to know it. Only if you want to know it.
Because Corinne will be there just representing the inn, because I'll be there representing the yobbles that we'll be bringing down, which is our dead enders. But if you are, we'll put more information up. It is on the 18th of December. We're going to call it our Christmas little get-together. Yeah. And it's up to you guys if you want to come. Doesn't matter, but I do need 18 people. It was 19, but one spot is already gone because the only single room we've got is gone. So it will be doubling up because it will be based on 2 people sharing a room. All right.
Sounds like a plan.
You can count me in. I'll come, definitely.
Yeah, we'll get somebody for you. You can come and cut into me if you want. In a room.
But we do want to be really clear.
Something you get to you. Does that mean I've got to pick my favourite? I've got to pick my favourite dead end or host to go with?
But we do want to be. We do want to be really clear, though. This is only for our dead enders. So look, if you're part of a team, it's not going to work. It's just for our dead enders. It's just so we can all get together, enjoy some good times throughout the evening. Come down a bit earlier. We'll have dinner. We'll all have a good old chat. Come see Corinne if you want to know about the history prior to starting.
And she'll be happy to tell you whatever, because we have done extensive research, and we've got things that nobody else really knows about, and she'll be happy to talk about that. God, will she be happy to talk about it. Trust me.
Absolutely. And then, like, if it goes really well, then I think CJ was thinking about maybe doing a summer one as well. So let's see how we all get on with it, because we do appreciate it's really, really close to Christmas. We are mindful of that. That's why it's only an idea at this particular point in time. Before Colin
Me and Eddie will probably stay the night before as well, like we did last time.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's only what I've got available this year. Next year, we'll have different dates, and some private teams will be coming down doing their private ones. But we are going to start picking out particular, more in-depth ones. But that's mainly for the Jamaica Inn side of itself. So there will be 1 or 2 dates which probably we could do again. So if you can't come in December, don't worry about it. You can be able, but bearing in mind, it can only be a maximum of 19 people.
Yeah, and then we'll all have a lovely fry up together in the morning. There's veggie fry ups.
So tasty as well.
Yeah, well, it is. It really is.
Oh, yeah.
Before we all say our goodbyes and depart.
I know I was only meant to be on for a couple of minutes. I haven't left.
I know. Anyway, with that being said, I will
say one thing, CJ. See when I saw the Jamaican post there on my face lit up like a Christmas tree, because that's on my bucket list. That place, so I'm definitely up for that.
I got you there. We'll sort something out for you. I mean, with a joke and a band or whatever. If it needs be, you can come in. I don't mind sharing. So let's see if you come on your own or if you bring your partner or whatever.
We'll wait and see. The other thing I noticed, somebody said there's on about a T-shirt idea that hashtag blame Stephen. I'm well up for that one. So
just let me know. We can always make you up a T-shirt, Steve. That
will be a seller. Blame Stephen. That's
yeah.
Anyway, look, guys.
I would like to thank you for the opportunity for coming on. So that's
you're welcome, because it's the last time you come in on.
Yay!
Listen, Stephen, it has been absolutely amazing. Thanks so much for what a great idea you had. So it's been a really good chat today. Mandy, thanks ever so much for coming on and having your say. Lovely. That's what we like. We love our dead enders to come on. Anyway, it's goodbye from me.
Well, it's goodbye for me, and look out for the ticker or the link to Alcoholics Anonymous that will be put up at the end of the show.
Maybe
Bye.
not. Bye.